Yo, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Don's Fantasy Playbook. To all my fantasy fanatics, what I'm saying? I hope uh, have enjoyed these past weeks, and your teams getting ready to gear up for the playoffs. So we got much more in store. This is where dreams become reality, and your fantasy football is real. So, with that being said, we're going to start it off quick and get on the move. We're going to start with our top players from last week. It was some top players from last week. They did some things last week, and I must say, hey, it is what it is. You got to give it to them, man. We're going to start with the quarterbacks. So, the number one quarterback from last week, Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels showed up and showed out. I mean, it took him a while, even though they still lost it. But hey, it is what it is. He did score 30.4 points last week. He was 25 of 38 for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. He might have had 2 interceptions, but at the same time, hey, he still had them in the mix. And for them to lose like that, it had to be sickening. And he did also run 7 rushes for 74 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Daniels, man, hey, that man's going for rookie of the year, I tell you. All right, next we got Patrick Mahomes. Hey, little Patty, he still gets it done one way or the other. Out of Kansas City, you already know where he's relied. The defending champions. He was put up 28.7 points last week. He was 27 of 37, 269 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 3. Yeah, 3. He also, hey, Patty got on some, he got his wheels out this week. He rushed 5 rushes for 60 yards last week. So, sometimes Patty gets out of that box and he goes. So, got to catch him. And this man is back. He's back and playing. I'm telling you, Tua Tagovailoa. Let me spit that out one more time. Tua Tagovailoa. So we got the 28.5 points this past week. He was 29 of 40 for 317 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Tua put that ball up and out. Those wide receivers do show up. When Tua's playing, they show. When he's not, no. Don't trust nobody on that team. Next up, let's go to the running backs. We've heard this name plenty early on in the season, and now I seem like we're going to start hearing it again. This man, Saquon Barkley, man, he put on a demonstration. He put on a show. He put on a lesson. And Philly, Shaquan, 46 points this past week. 46. And you know what? I want to save the statistics for later because we will visit him once again. But Josh Jacobs. This man was breaking tackles. Or was he breaking tackles? Or he just couldn't get touched? Because San Fran with these slippery fingers they had, these hands, I don't know, I don't know. They might have had some of that baby oil scribed to them because they could touch this man at all. So Josh Jacobs put up 28.6 points this past week on those 49ers. He treated them bad. Too bad. I mean, the man had 26 rushes, 105 yards. Not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. Josh was out there showing out on that San Fran defense. That wasn't nothing. Anyway, we got last but not least of the top running backs, Bucky Irvin. Bucky out of Tampa Bay, 27 points he put on. Bucky, hey, he came, first he was slacking a little bit, but now, Hey, he put up a good one. It was 27 points. He had 12 rushes, 87 yards. You like, okay, 12, 87. But he did have one touchdown right there. And, Bucky catches that ball out the backfield. He has 6 receptions for 64 yards. So, hey, he put up some good all purpose yards. And calculate them together, gave you 27 points, and you get 27 from Bucky. Hey, that's a good day. Let's move on to the top wide receivers. Jordan Addison showed up this week for Minnesota. He put up 30 points. Hey, Sam Donald, he was throwing it, and somebody had to catch it. One of those other receivers, some of those other ones wasn't, but Jordan was. Jordan was 8 receptions, 162 yards while getting targeted. Well, he did have one touchdown, and he got targeted 9 times. So 8 missed one. Who knows how they missed that one? But he was on the rock. He was on it. He was going, catching all over the field. I tell you, Cortland Sutton. Now to Denver. Now Bo Nix seemed like he has found him his favorite receiver now. Cortland's out there balling, and he's been doing this for the last couple of weeks, I want to say, but he is getting targeted plenty. So Cortland's put up 29.7 points this past week. Yes, he did. He had 8 receptions, 97 yards, and 2 tutties. Yes, 2 Cortland Sutton. And the thing about it, he was targeted 10 times. So yes, Bo Nix has found him a guy. So hey, he's having an excellent season. He's showing some love to those receivers. So be it. Really, do your thing. Hey, Jalen Waddle. We had a Jalen Waddle sighting this past week because he hasn't been showing up lately. So Tua was showing him some love with a combined point of 28.4 points this past week. Yes, 28.4. Waddle. Okay, he was out there doing the waddle. Yes, he was. He had 8 receptions for 144 yards and one touchdown. 144. Waddle. Hey, when you don't get that man on the other side, I guess he's getting double team, triple team, or whatever else. But if Waddle's picking up the slack, Miami's showing a little something. So hey, go ahead with yourself. And last but not least, of my top wide receiver, DJ Moore out of Chicago. 27 points this past week. DJ wasn't too happy at first with the quarterback transition and everything else, but I'm thinking now, you got Williams getting comfortable, more comfortable. Williams going to have his up and down. It is what it is. But DJ Moore just out there trying to get the ball whenever he can. He has 7 receptions, 106 yards, and one touchdown. So you got to give it to him. At least he was out there trying and doing what he needed to do. But the team Chicago, that's a whole nother story. All right, we're going to go to my top tight ends of the week. So this man right here, he's been showing out this year. I'm going to tell you that. Trey McBride, he got to be one of the top tight ends out there right now. He's been doing his thing mostly all year. And with Cal Murray, he shows up and he's doing spreading that ball around, but McBride gets touches. He gets targeted. So this week he was targeted. He was targeted 15 targets this past week. 15. Yes. So McBride with 25.3 points. He had 12 receptions for 133 yards. I mean, you just think about it. If he gets him a couple touchdowns, he's putting up a 30 piece. Yeah, 30 piece with biscuits on the side and wedges too. Yes, he's getting it. So the man Jonah Smith, Jonah, he has been showing out lately for Miami, and that's the one thing we've been seeing a couple Miami players up here lately. That's what happens when Tua's back on that field. He shows that mad love. He spreads that ball around, and he's getting it. That ball's in the backfield. That ball's out there in the out to the wide receivers, to the tight ends. Everybody's showing some love. That's Tua. He throws it like it. So we've been seeing. That's why we seeing so many Miami players right here in the top. So we got Jonah with 23.7 points this past week. He had 9 receptions for 87 yards and 1 touchdown. Yeah. I mean, you getting 87 yards, 9 receptions for your tight end. I call that a good game. A good day. And last but not least, this man's coming out of nowhere and he's getting love out of the uh, fantasy leagues. Noah Gray, Kansas City. You like Noah Gray in Kansas City? Who's this? I mean, what happened to old Kid? No, he must be hanging out with his boo a little bit too long because he's starting to decrease and Gray is starting to increase. Because Gray with 22.6 points this past week, and he's been having past couple of weeks. He's doing what he needs to do, and he's being in position to get that ball. So Noah has 4 receptions, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, two. Put that on your parlay. All right. Now we're going to the defense. We're going to slide down here. Let's go visit down in Texas on this top defense. Texas got two of the top defenses this past week down in Texas. We're going to start off in Dallas. Dallas with 19 points. Yes, 19 points. You heard me. Dallas defense stepped up this past week. Yes, they did. So they had 19 points, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, 4 sacks, and their defense pulled in 2 touchdowns. Okay. Dallas, like, we ain't done yet. So if we can't win it, we want to spoil somebody else's time. So, hey, watch out. Because Dallas might be just looking to take people out just for the heck of it. Anyway, the Seattle Seahawks, they pulled in 19 points this week also. Had 1 interception, 1 touchdown. They had 5 sacks, and they just allowed 6 points. That was pretty good. Stopping. Yeah, that's some stopping. Yard stopping. But hey, more power to Seattle. All right. The Texans, Houston Texans has been right here for their defense has been playing pretty good lately, and they've been showing that hey, they got what it takes, but at times you still got to win, Houston, at times. I mean, you can't be giving games away. I mean, I don't know what's all going on with the offense, but the defense is trying to show up. So the offense got to too. So with that being said, Texas with 18 points. Yes, 18 points. They had 1 interception, they had 2 fumble recoveries, and they had 1 touchdown. But one thing, they was in that backfield. They had 8 sacks this past week. 8. Yeah, they was in that backfield. All right. So, hey, that's my top defense. But now we gotta show love. I love to show love to my special teams, my kickers. Kickers need love too. So Will Lutz out of Denver. Hey, I'm still upset at this. He knows I'm talking to that he got Will Lutz off the waiver wire before I did. But Will Lutz with 22 points. He had a 38 yard field goal, a 53-yard field goal, a 54-yard field goal, a 45-yard field goal, and a 33-yard field goal. I mean, here we go again when kickers are, they are supporting the team with their field goal. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. But the team needs to show up. But if the kicker's showing up, I mean, hey, so be it. You got Bo Nix and Will Luntz. All right, go. Denver Broncos. So, of all places, Tennessee, Nick Folk, 18 points. Where'd this come from? I mean, I guess, like you said, if the offense ain't moving at times, somebody got to do it. Nick Folks with 18 points. I just pointed out. Now, let me tell you what he was kicking. This man did not, his field goals, nothing under 50 yards. 3 field goals, 51 yard, 56 yard, and 51 yards. Yes. With also 3 extra points, but still. That tells you those long ones was, whew. I heard him. He was nailing it. Doing more than that quarterback probably was, Mr. Mayo. No, I still don't like him. Still. It's just weird. Just weird. But now we're gonna go to, sometimes when I say my overachievers, you got that gap of what they're supposed to get, what their projecting score is, what they got this past week. Sometimes it's even the overachievers who affect the game, who, look out and you didn't think they was going to do what they did, but they served a purpose. And with their points, that propelled your team to win that game. So this week's overachiever, the Don's overachiever, we going back to Kansas City with Noah Gray once again. The man was projected 4.7 points. Where's Travis Kelsey? Because Noah Gray told him to get out the way, move. So Noah Gray with the 22.6 points this week, and I already told you what he put up. So with those 22, I mean, you got to give him. He's overachieved and helped Kansas City get another win. They do what they do. I mean, that's why they're defending champs for the past 2 years. Okay. But yeah, Noah Gray, overachiever of the week. But who didn't show up this past week? When it was crunch time, when it was time for their team to have it all, to get that win. But they didn't show at all. It's like, where did they go? This man, Justin Jefferson, I don't know. I mean, he was just like, was he out there playing? He had 5 targets. This is Justin Jefferson we talking about. This is like one of the top, if not the top, wide receiver in the NFL. You don't go this man and y'all are fighting for, I mean, the win. Gets 5 targets. I mean, he was projected to get 20. 20. See, the Casper is all about, like, if you don't show up, it might risk your team because you're depending on, Jefferson, yeah, he's going to get that. No. 4.7 points? He had 2 catches. When you see Justin Jefferson have 2 catches, like, what's really going on? Sam Donald? I know Jordan was getting that. Or was he getting double teamed all game? I mean, it's getting down to crunch time. You're still not going to him. 2 catches, 27 yards, 5 That's just, that's unacceptable, Justin. You got to do better. Because, people are fighting. This is almost playoff time. People are jockeying for position. You got to show up for somebody's team to show up. All right, I just had to let that out because he is on one of my teams, but I still won. But hey, it was close. It was close. It was close. All right, now let's look at next week's games coming up. So we're gonna look at who we want to start this coming up week. This is just how I look at it. This is a little bit of what I think, in my opinion, but it's everyone has one, just like other things. So, what I'm looking at, Nico Collins. Nico Collins is back. I mean, after he was out for that while on the, he was injured. He was, he missed some time. But now, the man is just in these past two games. This man has hauled in. Um, he's been targeted 16 times. He's had this 146. He's gonna need to get his yardage back up, and he's gonna need to get back in that end zone. But the more he playing now, it looks like the more yards are getting picked up. And Houston's going against Jacksonville, so it's time for CJ and Nico to have a field day. And I'm looking like, yeah, I'm feeling that's what's going to happen. And my next guy right here, Luke Shoemaker. Everybody, who's Luke Shoemaker? Yes, Luke Shoemaker, because Jake Ferguson, we don't know how he's been. Is he healthy to play? Is he going to play? If Jake plays, now, okay, maybe Shoemaker might be your backup if you don't got no better tight end. But at the same time, Shoemaker has been receiving that ball. Cooper Rush has been throwing it to him. So Shoemaker in these past, now this is another one. These past two games, Shoemaker's been targeted 114 times. He's had 111 yards, and he's got one touchdown. I mean, 111 yards, that's averaging, about almost 60 yards, 50 something yards a game, one touchdown, got some receptions. So, hey, let's put some good, stats up for tight end. So I can feel that. That's got to put in the slot. Why not? Because we got some teams off this week. I mean, it's several teams off. So with that, you might need just to fill them in, if that. Another guy right here, Malik Neighbors. He started the season. That was another one. Started the season looking good. Then he went down. So now when he's back though, Neighbors is back, and he's starting to get. He's averaging 10 targets in the past 5 games since he's been back. 10 targets. So 10 targets can rack up some yards awfully quick. I mean, but the thing about it, it's Dallas. I mean, not Dallas. It's the Giants. And the Giants don't know what they're doing right now in half the time. They let quarterbacks go. They let other quarterbacks play. Now this quarterback's, we don't know if he's playing. We we don't know who's playing these days. So now it looks like they going with Drew. So I don't know. I won't say Labors. He's getting the majority of the looks. So somebody, you know, um, they are going against the Cowboys. This is a Thanksgiving meal. So, I know a lot of people ain't looking for the battle of Rush and Luck going at it, but at the same time, you might still be able to get some good numbers out of these for the fantasy. So with that, hey, why not? Sit there while you're eating up on the good food, watch a little Dallas and the Giants play. And next up, we got the Lions defense. I'm trusting the Lions defense to go up and, slow Caleb Williams down. Giants defense is about, what was they about 15ish, 14ish in the pass and defense. They have 14 sacks for the year. That's not a lot, but at the same time, they still contain. They average a little bit over, give up a little bit over 200 yards. Nah, I don't know. I don't see Caleb Williams having no great, display against the Giants. So with that said, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't believe in Caleb Williams anyway. So at the same time, Lions eat them up, eat them up. Last but not least, I think Justin Tucker. Now you got to put this man back in because now he's looking to recoup after he was missing quite a few. Now Justin was pissing off some people because Justin's one of the greatest of all time in kicker. Now, and he just lost the most accurate kicker now past couple weeks ago. So he's on a rampage. He's ready to kick that ball. And Baltimore, they go up against Philly this week. And Philly contains, but they do give up the field goals. So they contain only so much. So if Lamar, we looking for Justin get quite a few field goals against Philly. I think they still will score before it's all over with, but I think Tucker will get at least about three in. Three field goals, probably a good distance. Yeah, go ahead and slide them in there. All right, but now we got to think about who are we not playing this week? Who are we not fooling with? Because sometimes everybody's, yeah, it just doesn't work out for everybody. Everybody can't get that starting role. So we're gonna start off with DeAndre Swift of Chicago. All right, Daniel Sports highlights. What's up with you? All right. Um, DeAndre Swift. Detroit has the number 5 rush defense there is. Teams just average 94 yards against them. And you haven't been hearing this man's name. He's been in, yeah, kind of hidden, kind of low. He has been performing really that great, putting up no fantastic numbers lately. But, uh, Caleb Williams at times, he'll keep it to himself. So I don't know what's going on with the running back room in the Chicago, but right now that ain't it. And going against Detroit definitely is not it. Tyrone Tracy. Now, I'm a Tyrone Tracy fan. But at the same time, the man has been losing his ball. I mean, he can't. His hands have been slippery as a slope because yeah. He's been got his fumble prone, and his time is starting to decrease, as in these fumbles he's making, and that's not good. No, Tyrone, let's shape it up, man. I mean, right now I'm gonna keep you benched because I don't believe that your hands can hold on to that ball. And if they don't, you're gonna be on that bench. And then it's gonna be terrible if I have you start in the game and you on the bench most of the game. You ain't producing no points. No, we need points produced. And Tyrone, you not doing it. So that being no. Sit there. Sit there. Sit there, bro. Sit there on the bench. And hopefully you get those hands together. Now, Devontae Smith for Philly. Now, I was reading, he's day to day. We don't know how his health is. So, with that, we got to keep checking on him until it gets to Sunday. And making sure that, houses, the health. Because he could be playing, but like I said, it's another one where he might come back in. I'm kind of concerned about the injury issue because sometimes, they'll come back in, couple reps, they be right back over in it. And then next thing you know, you heard, yeah, they out there for the rest of the game. And I don't, it's no time how close it is to playoffs. It's no time to jeopardize your points. It's kind of iffy. We don't need no iffy points. We need true points. So yeah, keep them. Yeah, keep on the bench right now. Like I said, we got to make sure his injuries and everything. Now, I'm not. Now, Debo Samuel, San Fran. There's times he'll show up. There's times he'll disappear. And against this Buffalo team, and this San Fran team is not the same old San Fran team. It's not the San Fran team we've been used to. And the offense, the defense, the coaching, everything is not the same. So with that, I'm not feeling Debo against Buffalo. Buffalo allows barely 200 points passing. We don't know right as in so right now. We don't even know if you know Brock is playing. We definitely don't need Brady Allen back there doing what he was doing. So I don't care who's playing. And yeah, we just need something to go right there. And I just don't believe this is going to work out. I don't. Mm-mm. So I don't know. I'm keeping Debo on the bench and just let him watch from afar. So Jalen Tolbert from Dallas. Now I was hooked on when he first showed up and started balling a little bit, but he gets only so many looks, only so many passes, because on Dallas down they passing that ball around. You got extra guys in the games, and you don't even know who they are. I don't know. If you're a Dallas fan, you probably know some of these guys, but other guys are getting these balls these days, and Tolbert he's getting 3, 4, but he might sneak in. I'm gonna tell you what though, he might sneak in a touchdown. But we need more catches, more yardage. We need those yak yards. So I'm keeping him over there on the bench. Like I said, we don't. Is Cooper Rush going to be? Mm, he can put up some points, but I think it's going to be a little harder than what the Giants. Their defense can only do so much too. But the Giants' defense is the number 7 pass defense. So will that stop Cooper? Maybe, or maybe not. So we'll see. But I'm not starting. Sorry, Jalen. Sorry. Aye. Well, let me take a moment real quick to acknowledge one of our sponsors, Mile Wide Beer Company. Go down to Mile Wide, get you a nice cold one, refreshing. They on tap. They got plenty of beer to sell, and it's a nice little atmosphere. Laid back, just people just relaxing, talking, just chilling, sipping. Can't pass it up. Good cold beer. Malwire Beer Company. Tell them 54 Sports Network sent you. All right. So next up, we got who are the ones to pick off the waiver wire this week? My waiver wire gems. The ones you might want to go. You know, first up, going Nick Westbrook. I don't even want to mess this last name up. So we just gonna call Nick Westbrook because I surely will rip it. Rip it. So this man has been showing up lately. I'm talking about each past couple of weeks, producing, putting up numbers for Will Levis. Yeah. So Will Levis looked like he's found another target other than Calvin Ridley. So other than Calvin Ridley, now you got Westbrook on the other side. Tennessee ain't gonna do nothing. But at the same time, as long as this man keeps producing, get a touchdown, get so many yards, I mean, hey, if you like I said, some of this waiver wire pickup sometimes it's getting down to that point where This is one of the last what we got this week, next week. I think um we're now next week where we got, buys, and then after week 14, that's it. So you need to buy, you get players injured. Some of these players you just plug in, or might have them for backup because some of those other guys on your bench, you just got them sitting there. I know I've seen people got guys on the bench injured, guys on the bench ain't doing nothing. No, why? You just taking up space. And the next thing you know, the next team is going to pick them up, and you're going to wish you picked them up. But yeah, like I said, but he's just on 11% of leagues. Amir Abdullah. Now, the man, we didn't know that he was going to come. It was like the last minute, day before decision, 2 days before last week. He produced. He did produce, put up some points. So hey, you gotta give it to him. Las Vegas, and somebody got to do something down there because you got quarterbacks going down. You had running backs going down first. You got quarterbacks going down now. Who's playing quarterback this week, Vegas? Who's playing? Do we just need to roll the dice on who's playing? Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Snake eyes, because we surely crapped out on Vegas. They ain't doing it. They probably just going to see who they can get the number one draft pick now. All right. We going back to Luke Shoemaker. Now, Luke is just owned in 6% of leagues. And Luke, tight ends are hard to come back. Just it all depends. You got those you might be in a 10-man league, 14, 16. I've seen people in 24 leagues. So, hey, you just need to have that tight end to produce something to put you some points. And like I told you, Cooper Rush looks like he likes old Luke. So, hey, Luke, keep producing. And, hey, people will pick you up because it looks like you out there in plenty. So be it. Another guy that's been producing, I was just talking about earlier, Noah Gray out of Kansas City. I mean, even if maybe you might even have Travis Kelsey. And who knows what's going on with Travis Kelsey? Double him up, handcuff. Have you heard of handcuff the tight end? Why not? Then you can make that final decision because something, you know, Patrick loves those tight ends because those are like safety nets. Because he starts to move and shake, and after he does, he's going for so long, somebody's gonna become open. And some of those times, it's those tight ends that do. That's why he gets them. Noah just owning 3% of leagues. Yeah, you should be able to pick him up right now. Like right now. Well, don't stop what you're doing right now, but pick him up after this. Right. So, last but not least, you got Jalen Warren. Now, he's just showed you last week where he's going to produce some points. He's going to put up a little something because that's another guy you might want to handcuff. Pick him up because Najee, we don't know how these games are going for Najee at times. Sometimes it be good, sometimes it don't. But Jalen Warren, you gonna know this man, he can catch. He's gonna catch some balls out the backfield, and he might just go up the middle on getting handed off. So double duty. He's gonna give you that halfback out there that looks to get targeted at times. So it's another safety net for Westbrook, not Westbrook, but Russell. So be it. With that being said, hey, he's just owning 42%. He still might be out there. Or a lot of people, when you go back and go look at your team, because you just might have them sitting on your bench and you ain't use them. But then when you don't, you go look. Hey, he's putting up 15 points, and you ain't even use him. He's sitting on the bench. While you missed out on another running back just put up 4 points last week. There was several that did something like this, but hey, just keep them handy. Why not? All right. So we're gonna move on. And first off, let me say another sponsor we have, Bounty Empire. You need some product, you need some shirts made, banners, everything else. They got sweatshirts, hoodies. I mean, hey, holla at them. They can hook you up, take care of you, and what you need, bulk shipments and all. Hey, Bounty Empires are to take care of you. That was 54 Sports Network sent you. All right. So now, now this is really it hurts me right here. The Don's trash player of the week. It hurts, but I got to be honest with you. I got to be honest with you because this man right here, he didn't show up. I mean, really, the whole dang on team didn't show up. Offense, the defense, special teams, the quarterback offense, the coach, the assistant coaches, the owner. I don't know. Hey, it was terrible. So the man, Christian McCaffrey, of all. Now, Christian, they call him CMC, but he had 11 carries, 31 yards. Yeah, yeah, that's not Christian McCaffrey numbers. 3 receptions, 37 yards. Yeah, that's not Christian McCaffrey numbers. The man was projected 20.4, pulled in 7.8. You like, well, he could have been worse. No, 7.8 to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey hurt people's feelings. He was a number one draft pick in some leagues. Number two, he was top three probably all over, if not top five. I mean, he's trash this past week. Trash. Because when you need to be there, you wasn't there. I don't care. We don't get enough quarterback. I don't care. We still had players. We might have a lot of injuries on the team, but you still are there. We need to produce. Simple as that. And you're not producing. Nobody is. So I'm giving you trash. It hurts. It really does. It hurts. But yeah, Christian, show up next week. Please. But look, the number one of all, when it comes down to it, the main eventer, the showcase, the highlight reel. He's out there. The number one running back right now out there who's leading the league in yards is no other but Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries, 255 yards. You heard me. 255. Some teams this past week didn't have that combined. 255. 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 47 yards. The man had 46.2 points. If you had Saquon Barkley on your team and you lost, that's a shame. That's a shame. That is. I think I've seen some too, but hey, Shaquan should be taking teams. They are taking teams to. He's taking teams to the playoffs. He could possibly be taking teams to the championship. You will see several teams in the playoffs going to the championship with Shaquan Barkley on there, no doubt. He is a game changer this year, and the Giants should be kicking themselves in the tail because how do you let that happen? How? But hey, Shaquan Barkley, the Don's fancy player of the week. Congratulations. Great game. Great game. Killing it. Killing it. But let me tell you about this past week. Let me take a sip because it was a close one. It was a close one. But I pulled it off. I went undefeated. I think this is only the second time this year where I went undefeated. I went 4-0. 4-0. I mean, in my dynasty league, and I'm creeping back in the position. I'm like in fourth place in the 54 Sports Network. I'm trying to get right there in the mix. I'm like in fifth, trying to take over that fourth spot. creeping back in my work league. I'm not as I'm like in the sixth spot, the final position for the playoffs. So I'm trying to creep back in because when you get that lower seed, then you got to take up one of the top teams right there. And one of the top teams, he's pretty dominant. He's pretty dominant. So hey, I think he just lost two all year. So you want to stay away from those teams. And my other one, I'm like sitting like third, and I think it's looking pretty good for me. It's looking pretty good. I think I can do a little something in that one. But hey, I'm just trying to get back because at the beginning it was looking awfully doomed. Yeah, it wasn't looking pretty in the beginning of the season. But that's how it is, fantasy football. You never know what could happen. You never know what could take place next. It's crazy. It's like that. But hey, it's it's one of the greatest times of the year. One of the greatest. I mean, you got fantasy football. You got the NFL playing. You got the NBA playing. You got, you got college football. The bowl game's about to come up. Now, both, oh gosh, it's so great. It's so great. Now the holidays, family. Just think about this. You're gonna be sitting around Thanksgiving and watching football, and the guys, got beer going. You got food. You're gonna be full, sitting back on the couch, having a good time. That's what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. Family, food, and football. Man. Well, that being said, I appreciate y'all tuning in, watching the Don's Fantasy Playbook. I'm just trying to give you just a little something on what's going on in the fantasy world, on who to start, on who to play, what was some of the best games, what was some of the best players from last week, and just tell you, my opinion. And this is what I do. And 54 Sports Network would just love, thank everyone for we thank everyone for supporting us, for showing love for all these times, for this year, for these past year, even come from the Mark and Will show. So with that being said, that's a wrap for another episode of the Don's Fantasy Playbook. Keep dreaming big and making bold moves. And with that, I'm out. Peace.